my fellow misfits. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Jenny. I'm a life coach. And today I'm talking about creativity. Specifically, today I'm talking about creativity as play. And I like talking about creativity as play because every child is creative, which means every adult is creative. But a lot of adults are not creating, usually because someone at some point criticized our creations. But children are born to make art, okay? And then we've been brainwashed over time in believing that we can't trust ourselves to do so. This over seriousness and lack of creativity and play is a trauma response. It's why so many adults can't play or just have fun or go with the flow. A lot of us don't get a chance to have a childhood until we're adults. Um, Creativity is tricky because when you're an adult and you start using adult style solutions to solve creativity problems, it usually doesn't work very well. Creative energy is very elusive. It's not as simple as just sitting down to work. It's about managing your time better. It's about fear and shame and perfectionism poisoning the energy that creativity and art need to thrive. Um, our nervous systems are also stuck in sympathetic activation. Our bodies think that we're fighting a life and death battle all the time. And when we're in that sympathetic activation, we can't really be in the energy of creating. Um, we kind of lose track of the fact that there's an option besides just rest or just work, and this option is play. And this is where creative energy comes from. Creativity is not work, it's not rest. Creativity is a type of play. And so it's important to be conscious of what energy you're in when you're trying to create, because you need play to create. And it's also important to be conscious of the energy you're infusing into your work. Okay, that doesn't mean you have to be positive all the time. Some art is meant to trigger negative feelings in people. Okay, it's okay to create from that place. That's a way to transmute those feelings into art. But you want to be conscious of what energy you're in when you're creating, because that's the energy signature you're infusing into your work. And that is the energy signature you are sending out into the world. That doesn't mean you shouldn't create from places of sadness or anger. It just means that you want to be intentional about it. A lot of creative people also have anxiety, which can be very paralyzing. Creating from an anxious place, if you're not trying to communicate that in your work, can hinder your creative flow. It can make your project feel more like work and less like fun. So once we start paying closer attention to our emotions, it's easier to realize when we're anxious. Then we can start to figure out why we're anxious. Then we can start doing something about it. So try to recognize when you're feeling stressed, take a break until you feel positive. Or if you're doing emotionally heavy work, just give yourself permission to take lots of breaks without feeling guilty. And by working from those happy or at least calmer mental states, your work will feel more fun. And that energy will be the energy that you want to infuse into your work, is the energy that will be infused into your work. Um, so some things that help um, get through the emotional burdens of creating are to not create alone. There's a lot of silent writing groups out there, which can be really helpful. Any groups that don't do critiquing can be really helpful. Having a TV on in the background can help you feel like there's someone there with you. Um, this is called body doubling in the neurodivergent community. Like, some people find it easier to clean if they have a body double, someone who's just sitting there being present, even if they're not helping clean. Um, it also helps to cultivate play in other parts of your life, especially if you're doing emotionally heavy work. It helps to cultivate play in other parts of your life, even if you're struggling to cultivate it in your artistic life. And humor is a core sense. Okay, humor is very important. So taking life less seriously is also going to be helpful here. So, for your homework, I want you to play. I want you to think of a game or a toy that you loved as a child, or I want you to think of something that you've always wanted to try as an adult, strictly for fun. And then I want you to go do that thing. That's everything I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. If you want coaching, there's links in the description. If you have anything to add, please leave a comment, and I'll be back soon.